Okay, let's get started. First, you're gonna get a piece of paper and you're gonna crumble it up into a ball. I prefer using a white printer paper rather than getting a paper from my stacks. It's cheaper, it's more affordable, it's easier to work with because it's thinner, and I'd rather save my stack papers for other projects. You're gonna get it and you're gonna crumble it up into a ball. The more crumble it gets, the better, because you're trying to make an old paper. So imperfection is perfect for this project. You're gonna open it up and you're gonna be careful, extend it out. Be careful because you can rip the paper as you're opening it up. You're gonna extend it and you're gonna put it on a flat surface. I got a kitchen cutting board since I'm gonna be using coffee. I don't want to get something that is gonna get stained and I'm gonna want to use later on. So I'm using a cutting board. It's really easy to use. You're gonna start brushing with a painting brush. You're gonna brush your coffee over your paper. You don't have to do this perfect. As you can see, I'm going in different directions because imperfection is perfect for this project. I like to use a lot of coffee depending on the color you want to get it, but as you keep doing this over and over, you're gonna learn different little things to it. You're gonna get the whole paper that you're gonna be using. You're gonna paint all over it. Don't be greedy with your coffee. It's okay, there's more in the kitchen. Paint it, and it's easier. The more flat surface you use, the better. As you can see, I'm kind of struggling a bit there, but just paint it over and over until you're satisfied with what you have. That's not going to be the finished product, so don't worry about it. You're going to make it better later. You're going to go all over your paper until you're satisfied. Make sure you don't leave any white spots, because those white spots are going to stay white as you finish up the project. You're going to flip the paper over and you're going to repeat the same process again. But just be careful on the second side, because as your first side is already wet, it's going to get a little bit harder to work with it. So just go over the whole paper until you're satisfied again with this side. And so this is how my finished second side looks like. It took me quite a bit, so I had to trim it down. As you can see, I'm already done, but I'm going back with the brush just to make sure I got it all finished. And I'm pretty good with it. So as you can see, as I picked it up, it looks glossy, and that is because it is very wet. And now you get a heating tool and start warming up your paper. I use my hair dryer because it was on hand, and as I'm very new to this, I don't have all the scrappy tool stuff. So a heating tool or any kind of hair dryer you have will be perfectly fine as long as it heats up but won't burn the paper. You don't want that happening. As you start to finish drying up your paper, you're gonna notice that it becomes very stiff. I like to leave my paper a very good stiff, but it just depends if you want it softer or however you want it. But just be careful, do both sides, make sure you don't leave it too wet, since it'll be more likely for it to start ripping. When you're satisfied with your paper, you can stop with the drying, but until then, this takes a very this is probably the longest part of the whole thing, 5 minutes. Finally, the last piece of this whole project, I go back and I re-crumble my paper just because it makes it look older. It just looks better. I like it. I've done it both ways, and I just go back and redo this as I have stressed it throughout the video. Be careful when you're opening up your paper. I don't know if you noticed, but I ripped a little piece and I was kind of covering it up, but overall it looks very good. It could be used with any vintage projects. After you're done with this, you go back and add scrapping tools to it, or however you want to do it. Thank you.